So the first topic I want us to discuss today is marriage an achievement in today's world? Who will go first? Men like us have to speak.
Some married men like us have to react to this. Because if we don't react to this, it looks as if we don't know what we are doing. If marriage is an achievement or not. Yes, even the Bible says something. It says, he who findeth a wife finds a good thing. So, if you are married to the right partner, there's every possibility that you'll be successful. When you have a good partner, a partner that is ready to plan with you, build with you, make impact and grow together, there is every possibility that you'll be successful. But when you marry the opposite side, there is no way, I bet you might even go lower than where you are coming from. Yes. And that's when you start wondering, you start asking yourself, when should they pursue me? I be in a family people, they pursue me. I be in my village people, they pursue me. But it's not all of that. But the good news is that when you want to get married, you look inward, look directly. You know, most persons feel I'm getting married to my partner alone. But you need to go background to know what happened to the father or the mother. It's very important. Don't feel the wife I'm getting married to is just my wife alone. Go and know about the parents of your partner. Study about the mother's lifestyle and the father's lifestyle. There's a trait, whether you like it or not, those traits definitely manifest in due time. So what I'm going to say is that marriage is not an investment. It's a sacrifice where you sacrifice your love, your attention, your time, and your money. And all things being equal, in the process where you are entering it, favor comes in. That's why the Bible says, he that findeth a wife, findeth a good thing, and obtain favor from God. God start blessing you and start increasing you. I can even boast by telling you that since I got married, there's a huge difference. The difference I'm talking about is so huge that what I'm doing before I got married is what I'm still doing now, but I would bet you that there's a huge difference. And I know say they play, they show.
Any other person want to contribute to this? Any other person?
Thank you. Me, from what the people have asked, because I'm not married, but single ladies feel like when they are married, they've achieved everything. So it forced me to start asking a question. Well, if you think of it as a status and success, it is not an achievement. It is not even an investment. But if you think of it as an achievement, though, that means it's something you are willing to put in effort, growth, and take responsibilities. That means you have to be intentional about it because it is something you want to achieve something through the process. Maybe because your own family has failed in marriage and you want to break the jinx, you want to break the record. And so at the end of the day, if you are able to make your own marriage work, or at least exceed that of your ancestors, the people that got married before you in your lineage, then you can think of it as an achievement for you. But if it's based on the general status of I'm married, no, I don't think it's an achievement because it's a work in progress. It never ends until they do you part. So what's the achievement in it? I don't see the achievement in it. So it's just a work in progress.
But this thing I want to say, I know people may come for me, but let's just take the facts. Marriage is an achievement to some people, mostly the lady, feminine genders. Because I say mostly the feminine gender. Not some men partake in this kind of part because I believe in this life, you only get rich in 3 ways. 1, by inheritance. 2, by stealing, either by trick or by any way. Then 3, by marriage. Being a lady that you are, let me say you're an average lady, trying for yourself, struggling lady, that they call and say, how do they call them these days? They don't change the name to hardworking lady or independent lady, yes. Like saying that my father for dependent before. So normally, when a lady of average class gets married to someone that is better than her, actually ladies always marry who is better than them, not who they are equal with or a charity case. You understand? They get married to bigger people. So getting there, your husband will have to know that your business is kind of suffering. Let me boost. You understand? Then him investing in you is an achievement to you because your financial level or your financial status have increased. So then is an achievement to her. And the man is kind of achievement in some way that people will address him better than the way they used to address him before. You understand? The status will increase. You understand that? It's a matter of you coming out and say, this is Mr. Victor. For there, this is Victor. Then this is Mr. Victor. If you're a contractor, people will trust you more because you have a family. You have a family that will cater for, and you have a family that you are responsible of. Then you cannot run away with the resources. Then they can give you the contracts. Mostly, when we talk about this, the political class will understand this better. Because before you get any elected position, as the custom is, as the, what is it called, the constitution demand, you have to be married. Just to prove that you are responsible. You understand? So it's kind of achievement to some people. Why some is kind of sacrifice. Thank you.
The truth is bitter. All right. Thank you everybody for your contributions. But okay, there's actually no buts here. Like you all said, you've rightly spoken about marriage. But I have this to say, like LJ said, it's a phase of life. Naturally, it's a phase of life whereby two people come together legally and get united and they become one. So in another light, their coming together is like, they say every day draws us closer to the grave. They be like, as we are getting closer to the grave, so let us get offsprings out to continue from wherever we stop in the future. But today's world, just like our topic says, today's world, they have tried to commercialize everything. And believe you me, that commercialization is favoring the female gender, the feminine gender, especially worldwide and in Africa. Like in the Western world, it favors them more there. That is why these are our big footballers, Messi, Ronaldo, and the rest. They try to go for prenups and all that to ensure that at any point in their marriage, anything comes up, their properties are secured. Are we there? So it's now very commercial that even down here, if you are getting into a relationship with your free mind and ladies are rushing after you, it's not because you are handsome or it's what you have. What do you have to offer? They say handsome, yes. What are some things in your hands? Back in the days, like 10 days, men used to be known for their looks. Some guys will go build up their muscles, just have a nice haircut and your skin is glittering. And you are the ladies' man. But today, if you like, shine brighter than the moon. Nothing for you. Nothing for you. So it's now being commercialized in today's world. Marriage, so anyone getting into it, you open your, if I have a third eye, else you just go back to village. The truth is bitter.
Alright, so I think this thing is very contextual. Yeah, we must look at it and take it from the root cause. I think majority of the reasons why there's an argument on whether marriage is an achievement or not achievement is because we have too many failed marriages. So, when we want to look at the core reason why the marriage institution was established, you see that it's first of all for the purpose of companionship, and secondly for procreation. But we have so singularized it in this vision that for a man it's more about my lineage more than it is for love, and it's more about the looks of the woman, the choice of deciding the wife, than it is for what she carries inside. And for women, it's more about what the man has in his pocket and how much of a companion the man is for us. So I feel like for us to answer this question properly, I think that everybody who we're answering this question from have to make a decision on where do they really stand on the idea of marriage. So for one, I stand for the idea of marriage, that marriage is more about a companion relationship than even for procreation. And because of that, I would think that if I can find one woman out of the 4 billion women on earth, and I think that she's worth my time, and I think that I trust her enough, and I think that she can be my wife, I think that's an achievement. Because If it was easy, find one. Yes. Even when you try so, yeah, it's very easy. I think there's an analogy I put that is it's easy to find a woman. It's hard to find a wife. And it is by God's intervention that you can find a good wife. It's three different things. So to find that if you find a good wife as a man, that's your greatest achievement in life. Because she changes your life, like you have said. A good woman manages the home. She changes your finances from almost bare minimum to always high. She helps you. Even women somehow can even see farther than men sometimes. I know there's sometimes when we have to set committees and we say if a woman is not on the committee cannot work because there are ways that women see things that men can never see it. So I think I'm arguing that marriage is a sort of an achievement, but it's not something that is not the only achievement.
You know, the major problem we have in this generation is we don't actually know what English means. You know, that's why they still force us to write IELTS if we want to travel. Because speaking it alone does not mean you understand the word English. You know, as someone who studied English, sometimes I see the misconception people have when I even talk. That's to tell you how backward we are when it comes to reasoning. You know, because we'll just tend to say we can speak directly means we can translate and we can write. Now, if you're talking about achievements, first of all, what is the meaning of the word achievement? Achievement simply means to complete a set goal successfully. So whatever goal you set for yourself is an achievement. If you say that this year you are going to buy a new phone and you work towards it, you buy that phone is an achievement. If you say this year you want to upgrade your craft and everything, and you successfully do it, is an achievement. You graduate from school is an achievement. If you wake up one morning and say this year I want to get married, you have to set a goal of getting married, which means if you don't have a girlfriend, look for a girlfriend. Study that girl, do your background check. If you guys align and understand each other, you do the needful and then you wife her. So if you are able to satisfy these set goals, it's an achievement. So that is what we need to look at it first. But when we talk about achievement, we'll start talking about who does it benefit more, and that does not concern the word achievement. Achievement comes after you've achieved that goal of getting married. That's the achievement. Then you can now set another goal of saying who this marriage will benefit more. That's your own personal and selfish reason, you know. So when we're talking about achievement, we focus on the meaning of the word first. So marriage is an achievement looking at it from that construct. Because a lady that goes into a relationship hopes that relationship will be the last she will go into. A guy that is serious that goes into a relationship wants that relationship to work. And when both of them compromise and they get married, it's as good as they've achieved something good. So whatever you think outside that context is on your own personal prerogative. You can set a goal after you've accomplished a goal. But don't try to equate the financial success and everything and book it down to marriage being called an achievement. No, that is when you are trying to be so elaborate, leaving the context of what the question says, which is marriage an achievement? That's a simple contextual statement that is easy to say yes or no. Thank you.
Some of us are not in the marriage, but we've been in the midst of several married people and asking detailed questions. The reason why some persons are still scared of getting into marriage, at least I can tell you that I've met several single persons that will tell you, Omo, I don't think I want to get married. I'll be like, why? After all these experiences from these people? So it's like they're not there, but they've already seen it all. And it's not something you can see everything, but the much they've seen seems like they've seen it all, and it's scary. I can tell you from where I'm sitting right now that I am one of those persons that is scared but intentional on trying to make sure that since I've seen the flaws, the reasons, major reasons why so many marriages fail, that I've made up my mind that if the other person coming for me has made up his mind that once life is not being threatened, we can make it work. That's the only reason we're still going on that quest of getting married. If not, we have seen the ugly side of marriage without even being close to the line.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I am so happy and privileged to be here. It's a pleasure to see you all, especially Biscuits, the bread, Father Ben. Capping me right. Thank you so much. Issue of marriage, I think we should look at it from various various perspectives. Is it as marriage as an occasion, or marriage as a union, or marriage as a status? So let's know what we are talking about. Because if we look at ourselves, we are all various achievements of marriage, various marriages. You are product. So if you ask your daddy, what did you achieve in your marriage? What at you? So let's look at it from various perspectives.
So, as we were saying, I wanted to say something. You know, I've heard of the red car effect. I can't paraphrase it, but if you start looking for a red car, like if you start marking like a red car, if you look at this road now, before 30 minutes, it will be as if it's only red cars that are passing here. So that's why my own contribution is, if you keep listening to people, they are bitter people and they are happy people. A lot of people that are happy. But in today's world, the unfortunate thing is that the unhappy people are louder. Because I think there was a time one celebrity divorced, and somebody in the comment section said something. They said, you're saying you don't believe in marriage anymore because a celebrity divorced. Eh? But you've left your parents, your uncles, people that have been in marriage for 50 years, 60 years. Those ones are not your standard anymore. You don't look at them anymore. But you're now on social media to look at, these people just married before 6 months, they can't break. Oh, hey, you just have to go marry. So, but you've forgotten that they're also, like in your own household, they are 40 years, 50 years, 60 years marriages, and they are fine. They've learned to live with their flaws and they are fine. You understand? So that's my own part. Marriage is sweet. It's just that the bad people and them loud pass. Trust me, loud people. So Father Ben, I'm advising us, we that are in the marriage, that we are not seeing shaking. We should be loud too. We should be loud. Like, this thing is not as bad as you people are saying it over there. One of the reasons I picked this topic is, if you hear some young people talk about marriage, even you will feel like, what's going on? And social media is really educating the young ones wrongly. Yeah, that's true, sure. Some have seen. Yeah. Now we'll go enter. Mm. In fact, that is even see, if someone, if care is not taken, if you grew up in an abusive, like your parents or where you grew up in, they were abusive to each other, you are a red flag, but you won't know. You would think you're a good person. It's when you get into a relationship, you exhibit those things because you are insecure, because you've seen evil in those relationships. You'll be the red flag in that. Then most of them, because I've seen many, they'll be the one to tell you that this person do me this thing, this person do me this thing. And they used to say, if you are in 3 relationship and something is happening constantly, you should check yourself. You might just be the constant thing. Because if you hear somebody say, all the boyfriend I don't get, now so they do this one, they go leave me, they go do this one, they go do this one. Check yourself, like, why? What am I doing? Because some people, they meet their partner once and everything clicks. So why is your own not clicking? Are you sure it's the other person? Are you sure? Have you looked inward to check that you are not because whether you like it or not, all of us, we are walking red flags. So there are people that cannot cope with us. No matter how good you think you are, there are people that will not cope with you. There's another person that can cope with you. That's why they used to say, marry who will not match. You understand? Like me now, I don't like talkative. If woman they talk well, I don't like them. But there are people that if their wife they talk well, they go they laugh. They say, I understand you. it won't be a red flag. That talkative that you feel like, hey, I don't like you. Why are you talking too much? Another person will see it and be smiling. What should a woman do if she's in an abusive relationship? If there's domestic violence in marriage, what should the woman do? Or what should the man do if the woman they beat him? Because I think a lot of times we they forget say women they beat men. But because say men shame no they let us they talk hey they low, but they do. You know low well. They do. He did brutal. Because the man no go fit talk.
Now, these days, some liabilities now come in form of responsibility. And you men, you just hold on to it like, hey, let me be man. A guy, you know, be man to come and kill yourself. If you were to be Jesus, Jesus wouldn't have died because he would just allow many Jesuses to be everywhere. That's the truth. So many men think that, let me be man, make a chest down. And that's the point. That is it. That's where you people are getting it, because it's a subtle way of abusing you. You understand? It's a subtle way of abusing you, and you're not aware of it. You just very subtle. I'm telling you, you're gonna rub your head. They press a mumu button. When they choke you, see, calm down. There are so many ways to press a mumu button. Don't forget it. There are so many ways. Okay.
So when we talk about abuse, we usually focus more on the physical abuse. You know, if he doesn't hit me or I don't hit him, that means we're okay. You know, abuse come in different forms. Though we have the physical abuse, we have the emotional abuse, they also have the financial abuse too. You know, let's talk about the physical abuse. If your guy or hits a girl or the married man hits the wife, it's a physical abuse. Then when the married man always talk down on the wife, that's a mental abuse, emotional abuse. And when you are a man and you have a wife that is never satisfied with anything you can provide, that's also mental abuse. That's where comparison comes in. You know, you feel you are not doing enough. Your best is never enough. In that kind of situation, you will never grow. You'll never have this, anything that makes you not to have the urge to come home. You know that your home is already abusive. Anything that makes you skip late nights, that makes you always want to engage in conversation that doesn't concern you just to kill time, you're under abuse. Then the financial abuse is something that we are now turning to a norm. It's not a norm. You know, like what Press said, there are some finances you ought not to take, but because everybody sees that normal, you take it. It's not normal. You know, we just have this generation of stupid men. Let me use that word. The men are becoming dumber. You know, our men are becoming dumber and the women are becoming smarter. Whether you like it or not. Because we men, we don't understand what responsibility means. Responsibility doesn't mean shoulder everything. You are in a marriage, you are in a partnership. It may not be 50-50, but there must be something that is coming from the other angle. But when you make it look like I need to do it, I see what's happening now. Sometimes your wife is pregnant and then she gives birth, and when during normal work, the in-law comes with relations. That's adding to your financial burden. It's not supposed to be so. There are things that will happen as a man. You put a stop to it. Before, I've not seen a situation whereby they are having an event in a family and they will add the in-law to the group chat and give you bill that on a normal day it doesn't concern you. We're not talking about the case of a lost loved one. Then they say, okay, your one is your contribution. No. Sometimes they may want to renovate house and they will add you there as an in-law. It doesn't concern you. If you want to do that, you do that from your heart, from your widow's mind. But now we all agree that is a normal thing I must do it. Who said you must do it? The financial chaos that we give to ourselves, the quagmire of finance we give to ourselves, starts from relationship. You are in a relationship and you are paying your girlfriend's house rent. That's a big flag first. You're already going in for a huge financial downfall. Don't let any girl, this generation has girls that are good at manipulating and blackmailing. Don't let any girl blackmail you into doing something the father cannot do for her, especially when you're not married to that person. Now, when we talk about men being abused, it happens. We just have men that don't like to talk, and we have a society that judges men that speak. You know, when a man comes out and say, "My wife is abusing me," everybody will first of all laugh. They'll say, "Your wife, they beat you." They forget that abuse is not only about physical. There are a lot of some men are in a sexless marriage. Like the number of times they go to bed with their wife depends on the way they provide. If you spend enough, you get enough. You don't spend, you don't get. It's a subscription. You know, we're having a what I call cryptocurrency now. Understand? You know, when you have to pay to get anything you have to do, you have to pay to get value. That's not relationship. And when you have a relationship where the man always does everything to, I don't know why sometimes men that have good women tend to abuse them more than usual. You have a wife that is always willing to work and contribute, then you leave the responsibility for that woman. You're already driving a willing horse dead. It doesn't work that way. So it's good for us to identify what abuse means. Then we'll know how to start correcting it. If you're in a case of a physical abuse, the first thing you do is you seek help. Look for someone you talk to as a confidant. Mental case, you need we need to visit more psychiatric and also psychologists to give us therapeutic advice. We are making the mistake of meeting pastors for psychological issues when it's not in their field. They are our spiritual guide because they are learned in the scriptures, but they are not your relationship guide because they don't know the psychological input that relationship is. You can only give people guidelines on a good relationship using only Bible because there are a lot of matters that the Bible is silent about. That's when you need some psychological advice. Then, in terms of finance, you also need a financial advice too. Now, when all these things you tried it and you cannot see the futility, you cannot see a good result, and you want to leave. The reason why some people don't want to leave is because of what they've spent in that relationship. Especially for the guys, how much you've invested, and if I go, this money don't go. That's when you see. But you need to understand that your peace of mind matters to you first. Then, as a lady, one of the reasons why some ladies don't go is because they go into that relationship handicapped. You don't have something to bank on. So rather than go, you would prefer to stay in that relationship and bear it. You say, after all, if I leave this man, how do I start? You may be surprised when you leave this man, things will start working out for you. Because some men are like cloud, they cover your star, and some women are also like sun. They can cover you that the galaxy will not see you. So you just need to get yourself ready. And as a woman, never you go into a marriage, you don't have something doing. The number of insults you receive reduces when you are working, and it increases when you don't work. And avoid any man that will manipulate you into dropping your job or the things that give you your daily 2K just because you want to build a home. They will place you on salary, and the day you guys have issue, they will withdraw the salary. That's the manipulation. And as a man and a woman keep pushing you, do this one, do this one, do this one, do this one, they will nag you to your early grave. And the day of your burial, somebody will come there and console her. That's what we call spit on your grave. Thank you.
Truth is bitter. Obviously. Obviously. Okay, for women who are in an abusive marriage, I think one of other reasons why they are scared to leave is especially when they have kids. Once kids are involved, it's very difficult for a woman to leave an abusive marriage. Reason being that most men that are abusive, they are irresponsible, first of all, because a responsible man will not lift his hand on his wife or deprive his wife from pursuing her dream, because that woman is an entity long before you made her your wife. But then an irresponsible man, should I say a coward? Is it safe to use that word? Because it's only a coward that will be scared that if I leave my wife out there, I'll lose her or she will gain control more than I do. Yes, because I've heard some women say, because I make more money than my husband, he feels threatened. Why would you be threatened that your woman is making money and she's contributing? That's even the part that is even scarier for some men. When the woman is making more money and contributing, they feel threatened. Like, see you, I go dey here, this woman go dey do Lord and Savior over my head. Meanwhile, you're supposed to celebrate that your woman is helping you ease your burden. After all, not only she with the responsibility where you get, but they don't look at it that way. Now, women are scared to leave marriages because they have kids, and two things happens when a marriage is ending or is breaking up. The woman will either live with the kids without the, the assurance that the man is going to also shoulder the responsibility of the kids, or the kids will be withdrawn from her by the man's family, and she becomes childless because women are attached to their kids. Whether or not we like it, women are mostly attached to their kids. And that attachment can not be easily washed off from a woman. So they are scared of that detachment or shouldering the whole responsibility alone. And so they stay back because they've not found a way out. They feel like a way out for them is, if any of those things are going to favor them. Since it's not going to favor them, they rather stay there. Now, most of them end up dead, and the kids will still suffer. Because that is even the irony of it. Some of them don't want to go because they don't want their kids to suffer with them. You will die and they will still suffer, or they will do better. So if we learn that the man that I'm staying with can take care of my children and no harm will come to them, live first, be safe. It's better to live and stay alive than to stay and be dead. Then if you leave, stabilize, re-strategize, come back equipped, and fight for the custody of your children if need be. If there's no need for that, make sure that you appear once in a while where your children are. Let them still have your picture in their head until live your life. These kids will find you. Whether you're a man or a woman, once you're separated, when they are grown, they will find their parents. That's one thing I know for sure. And even the one that you think you painted a poor picture about, your father was a bad person or your mother was evil. Trust me, at the end of the day, that one where you paint evil, they'll be so curious about that person to know why you're painting that person in such manner. They will go and discover that the person would have been a better parent to them and they will abandon you. So what's the point in dying in the marriage when you can always leave, be safe, re-strategize, come back, reclaim what is yours, and life goes on? Thank you.
Any other contribution? Man wey dey emotionally abuse, wetin the man suppose do?
When a man is being emotionally abused, there are things you need to do. First of all, you need to check yourself first. There are some things that make a woman to see you more like a man. There are some things that make a woman see you like a sissy. I've seen a woman that she said if she broke up with a guy because the guy was extremely nice. Women don't like it when you are too agreeable. They like nice guys, but don't be too agreeable. Agreeable in the sense that anything she says, you say yes. You dance to everything. They see you as not a very agreeable somebody, and they can push you around. They don't see you as manly. Once in a while, it's good to stand up for yourself as a man. When you say your no is no, whether you're right or wrong. Just to prove a point, but don't be so stupid about it. Women like it like that. For a woman to push you, being emotional, like, don't you see your mate? Don't you see your mate? When they're trying to use that, come from that angle. Don't you see your mate? Don't you see your mate? Once in a while, have mouth too. Don't you see your mate? You too, don't you see your mate? You understand? If they are giving example with your friend, you too give example with the woman you see. You hit back. Then when you discover that your wife is also so manipulative and likes to use blackmail, anything you do, they make you look like you are not doing enough, especially in the front of your kids. The best way to fight that approach is easy. Start doing things for your kids. Let them see directly. Don't give your wife money to be paying their school fees again. Go and pay their school fees. That time, that child will not see the effort you are making as a father. Then, another aspect is when a woman sees you. For instance, most men usually complain that because my wife is successful, she will overcome me or override me. Sometimes your wife might be more successful than you. Why don't you try to be more influential than your wife? It's a 50-50 thing. You have more money, have more connections. Women will respect that. They know that when they are driving and the police holds them to ransom, they have a husband to call that will call somebody to trade them. For that, they will respect you. Respect is very synonymous with fear. Sometimes we leave respect and focus on the fear. She must fear you. It doesn't come that way. So if your wife is more richer than you, no problem. No more people than your wife. It's a simple thing. Then if your wife, because of being so rich, some women tend to imbibe manly character. That is a red flag, though. Because sometimes women will feel that, okay, because I'm rich, that's why my husband feel I'm jealous, or he's jealous of me. Sometimes your husband might not be jealous of you because you are rich, but because of what you do while being rich. For instance, now, I and my wife went out, and because she's rich and famous, people come to her, say, they try to hug her and greet her. She entertains that greeting and doesn't let the person know that this is my husband. It's already a letdown. Sometimes when people come towards you that direction, you say, please take permission from my husband. She has placed you in that position. Everybody that says, now this woman, they fit this man, most times, it's not the man that says it out. It's the woman's actions that shows. There are some things your husband cannot do because of his financial issues. You balance it without saying a word. I've seen situations where parents, mother, give the man money to give to the children just to balance it. But when you are doing it always in his front, making it look like you are the one doing everything, you're already killing his ego. And the best way men can fight back on their ego is they try to be aggressive. We try to retaliate. When a woman is so assertive and the man is assertive, it's like when you're having two men in the same household. It doesn't work that way. That's a gay married by proxy. Let me use that word. So as a man, if you are being manipulated, you check the root cause of it and hit back. You don't have to be violent. You use brain for brain. But if it becomes too much and you cannot bear because your mental health is coming out, especially when you complain and nobody listens, and when you try to act and it doesn't work, you can quietly separate. You quietly separate. But before you separate, always make sure that you have done things that your children witness. Because that is the only thing they will have at the back of their head when their mom start brainwashing them. Your daddy doesn't do this, your daddy doesn't do that. Your daddy tried to beat you, or sometimes I even see some parents when the woman said the father tried to rape the daughter, which was a lie. When the daughters grew older, they started refreshing their memory and the experiences they had with their father. And discovered that all these things my mother is saying is a lie. So they searched for their father, had a one-on-one interrogation with their father, and they saw that it was true. Their father never abused them. And they went on and sued their mother. So make sure your children feel that love from you, irrespective of what their mother think, irrespective of you not having money. Make sure they feel the love. If it's that going to school to bring them and take them, do it regularly. If it's having that father-daughter moment, father-son moment, playing with your children, once you have that relationship with your children, there is little or nothing your partner can do should you decide to leave that marriage that will put your children at odds with you. Thank you.
She wants to leave. She's ready to leave, but he say the man now they sponsor a family. You understand, like for school. So and he knows if he come out, that school fees will stop. So she just say make she manage through. LG, which advice you get for this lady? How she go do if you did that kind of situation?
How did she get to that point where the man is the one responsible for her whole family? Are they handicapped? Oh girl, sorry, let's be frank. No single person in the family can actually sustain the family. That's an error. First of all, na foundation get issue, and I'm not talking about spiritual issue. I'm talking about mental issue. I'm talking about inability to take responsibility. Because first of all, if you take responsibility, you take your life serious. You realize that you're responsible for the outcome of your life. no matter how little effort you can make, you will do it and it will yield result. It might not be big, but it will hold water. Okay, you are in school, someone is sponsoring you. You know, say, this is a 50-50 thing. You as a student, the least you can do for yourself is there are so many scholarships in the school. Why not study harder to be one of those people on scholarship? Peradventure, something happens. You still have your education secured. But now, these people are just being like relaxing, like, oh, our sister don't marry. Trophy wife, Abi. Auntie, I will not stay there and die because I love my family. I will not die for your sake because if I die, that education either stops or continues. So, for the fact that my husband is responsible for your future does not mean you should not hold your own future. Or he took responsibility of your future doesn't mean you should stop thinking about your future. There are so many people that train themselves through school, from secondary school to the university level, even to their masters and doctorates. Nobody helped them. They all worked for it. Now you have someone assisting you, and it's not your father. And even if it's your father, you should have something else doing, no matter how little. In this world where we are, where skills are achievable via online, are achievable via extracurriculum activities in school, you don't have any of that. You don't have anything you can do as a side hustle and you're in school. Auntie, I would not come to kill I not come this life to suffer. Oh. I not be Jesus's. But if there's anyone like that, I be female Jesus. No. That is more Emanuela. I would not advise anybody, male or female, to stay in a relationship because of other people's life. Your life is in danger. If you die, they will ask, why didn't you leave? That's always the question. No single person died in a relationship and they say, she been done leave finish or they can't kill her. The question is always, why didn't you leave? Okay, after all, you can always pause that education. If it comes to that point, tell them, beg, go and apply for, what they call it again? Deferment. Defy it, I beg. And if they love you, they will defy it. Because if I love my sister, I wouldn't want her to die in the marriage because she's taking care of me. And the because we will suspend the education permanently. Come out. Your life is more important to me than whatever it is called education, future. A future without you is not beautiful enough because we grew up together. And I love you that much to want to have you watch me become what we already dreamed that as kids to be. So I will encourage my sister to leave. If I'm the one, I go leave. If I tell you, I beg, you had me, I know if you do this marriage again, make una find level. Everybody find your level. Me, I define my level. Oh yeah, if you know one, I don't come up for here because my life no get duplicate here. And forget this second life. There's no second life anyway. If you're coming back again, you're not coming back in this same body. If there's a second life, that's what I'm saying. You will never come back in this same body because this one don't decompose. That's if you see Egypt. Maybe in Pakistan, you go see yourself.
All right. At this point, I have to say congratulations on that woman when they sacrifice herself for the family. Easy. Yes, easy. At least person head must be someone's blood must be used for atonement. Yes, nah. Because you cannot tell me that because I'm sacrificing for my siblings or my family, I will not have my personal happiness. It's not done. I can't sacrifice my happiness for someone else. As it stands today, if you happen to die, the family will still live, either by education or not, according to what she said. And that's basically truth. There's a story I came across online. This guy was the youngest of them all. That's the last born of the family. Then he was lucky enough to grow wet out of scratch, out of nothing, because no one cared for him when they lost their both parents. So he became rich and started taking care of the family. To an extent, the shop he was managing, electrical shop he was managing, got burnt by candlelight from one of his workers who didn't go home after work. So the siblings came during that incident. One of them was laughing at the back. I think all your prideness don't finish. And this person was the person, he was paying the children's school fees and paying she and her husband's house rent. But that was the statement the woman uttered. Then after, up to the extent that he went to the woman's house, perceived the aroma of jollof rice that just came down for fire. I beg, I the hungry. I never eat the before yesterday. Give me food, eat. And I said, the food not go reach me and my children eat too. There's no court for you. We didn't plan for you. Okay, I'm now homeless because I couldn't meet up with my house rent anymore. I have nothing on me. Then my landlord have jettisoned me out of the house. Can I please stay in your living room? Say there's no space for that. That the house is full. Person will pay the house rent so. So then this guy have to travel to another community and start over again. Then lucky he was lucky enough to bounce back to his feet. And the family now came back again. The same woman now came back to beg him to help him that the husband have chased them out of the house. You understand? So no matter whatever way, as a human being, once there's an history about you, people must go. They must meet up with something. You, as a man, being fighting for your family to stand. When you die, the family will still go. So it's better the sacrifice you make sure it's within your power. Don't do more than yourself. He asks for me, if the person is my sister, I will advise, come out. People that don't have trend, that don't have handwork, they don't have crafts, they are not educated, they are living well in this country. Though you be doing hard labors to survive, but you are surviving. So it's not a do or die affair. To me, if the marriage is not working for you, that you are facing much of abuse, instead of me losing my blood sister or my blood, it's better come out from the marriage. It's just a matter of shame. Now, in our family, nobody feel study education again. Yes, let it be so. But at least we are all complete. But for me, I'll say the siblings too, to me or even maybe the woman, the siblings they push you because some family are like that. Because we are benefiting from this man, we like you to remain there, whether rain or sun. The mother will say, I married your father was beating me, you know what I passed through? Did I go? That statement will come from there. Because they are getting something from there. So it's better of you won't feel with my father, I can't deal with them. Make me deal on my own. It's possible we don't see sons-in-law when Hajia the mother-in-law. So it's normal thing. You both can start Hajia each other. Then let me out. Then you become the sacrificial lamb that he will bounce on at any time for you to train your children. Thank you.
The truth is bitter. Thank you, everybody, for your contribution so far. About the lady that's been abused in her marriage physically. But where did we or how did we get to that point where one man now has to take care of another family? How did they get there? First of all, that family, the wife's family, they are useless people from A to Z. The first son, the Okpara, the last daughter, the father, the mother, they are all mad. So the lady who is being abused, I don't know, maybe they did it. You know, I always like touching diabolical. Maybe they tied bros. Then at a point when his eyes opened, he realized that these people don't use me. He has to. That is his aggression now rules. But it can't go to the family house of the wife's people to beat them up. He has to like, your daughter here. She must feel my anger on a daily basis. So whatever that man is doing, he's venting his anger. Like he's kind of, I mean these people use Chris like this. This lady will hear him. That kind of a thing. So the advice there is the lady, first of all, has a lot of talk to do with her family. Maybe she has told them severally, see what I'm going through, and they are encouraging her, back, calm down now, still now, that's how marriage is. Maybe the mom, like you said, the mom will say, calm down, no marriage is this sweet, no marriage is a bed of roses. We all have passed through it at some point or the other, but it's a lie. As time changes, things change too. So the advice there is, since he has gone beyond emotional abuse, psychological, now he has gone physical. The spirit controls the physical. So since it has finally come to Jackie Chan's format, until leave. Run, according to Fela, run. Thank you.
Emotional abuse comes in different form. First of all, I'll start by. I like what you said, my brother, just now. I'll start by contributing my own decision here. Like the situation whereby parents are the one pushing
their daughter to get married to someone they don't like. I've seen that position. When by a mother will tell, because say you get money, marry him. Because say you go fit take care of this family, marry him. So out of that aspect, that you come marry the girl. When you got married to the girl, then the abuse comes from there because he's the one catering for the family. So emotion abuse comes. So if I have a sister, which I don't have a sister, in that position, I'm on. I'm going crack more for them. To be honest with you, than me, because now 5 months before I will go beat them for come back and carry the girl. Thank you.
Right. So in this situation, the man is taking care of like a whole family, right? And some men have ego, like their ego like is very very high, and when they are doing things for people, they feel, I don't know how someone take talk am, when they are doing things for people, so like yeah, something like that, and like the wife, he might not see her like someone that has so much worth. So you get, as be say the man dey take off her family, they go dey look the wife, go dey look am like less. So there are some things that the woman will do or want to do, e go just dey vex am well well. So you get, go dey vex am well well. There will be anger, and that anger, that's what will be pouring on the woman. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Okay, let me quickly put this. You see, manipulation comes from different sources and different patterns. And as a lady, this one goes out to ladies. What you tell a guy when you are starting the relationship matters a lot. If you are coming with the pity mechanism, it's going to affect you. When you come and say, my father not get money, my parents are useless, this one is useless, that one is useless, instantly he has already seen your family as useless. You know, when you start with that kind of morale, because you want to see yourself as the victim, let him pity you, probably because you've seen that he has money. And secondly, there are guys that don't come to you directly because they want to marry you, they come to your parents. You and a guy just started seeing each other. The next thing, he started coming to your parents. He comes to your house, studies everything. The next thing, he starts giving everybody money. He's already buying everybody. That's how manipulators work. To your parents, that's care. To you, that might be care, but that's not care. For someone like me, now, I can't have a daughter and the boyfriend just come and start buying things for me. For what now? They'll first you question the person, and the person looking at me alone will know that no, this is not how we roll. It's not everything your daughter's interest buys that you accept. Somebody just come because they know you. Next thing, he buy bag of Friday. Next thing, he start involving himself in your family matters. That's manipulative. When those kind of people buy over your family and you enter that house, there is nothing you would say to your family that they will agree with you. Because this same person, if they come to the family house now, they act so nice, so decent, you know, they are so respectful. In that situation, you become the problem. They're saying now you the spoiler, you know. And sometimes they can consciously set trap for you, and you will not say something insulting during family meeting to him, and you say, look at what I'm experiencing. And how can you just judge in that case now and say this person is bad? So when you are getting a relationship with a guy, it's not everything about your family you need to tell them. Sometimes add swag to your family name. Your family might be broke, quite alright. But there are some things you will tell the guy, especially about your father. When he sees your father, even when your father is putting on tete clothes, he will respect your father. Because you've already elevated your father to him. Either probably your father is a man that they respect in the community because he's very truthful or stuff like that. They will respect, but not you bringing down your family because you want the person to feel pity for you and just marry you quickly. And once you do that, you've already sold yourself to the guy. And once somebody spends money on your family, they start seeing you as a property. That is why even in some communities in the East where the bride price is too high, a guy will pay for that bride price and be maltreating the girl because he feels he has bought the girl. So an in-law respects a family that have self-worth, not a family that sell themselves for a cheap bread or something like that. So and there are some gifts you give to your in-law, or sometimes there may be a way your in-law is helping you, and you on your own, he sees that you guys are also trying, that even though he withdraws this effort, you guys will still thrive. That in-law will know his limits. But when he sees that the day he just stylishly withdraw money, there's problem in that house, he already has you at the spam now. So the problem comes from the girl's family and the girl itself. We need to watch what we say, our actions and inactions when we are introducing our spouse to our family. Thank you.
Whether we like it or not, all of us here, we have a lot of work to do. Not for ourselves, but for the incoming generation. Because no child comes to this world with information. Children come to this world with empty minds and empty brains. So when you see someone exhibiting a character or an attitude, it's as a result of what he or she learned from home. Because charity, they say, begins from home. Even education starts from home. So a man maltreating the wife is as a result of what he has learned from where he's coming from. Then a woman relying solely on her husband is learned from home. Whether we like it or not, a lot of people are going through childhood trauma. They are going through childhood trauma. So when women depend on their partner so much that even when they are being abused, they can't leave, it's as a result of the fact that has also gone through that process, that phase. So what do they do? First of all, you start teaching your daughter how to have the right value, how to be contented, how to respect yourself, have the mindset of riches even when you don't have anything. Because mind, whether we like it or not, mindset. If you don't have that, oh, they should pity me, I don't have. You understand? So we need to start imbibing mindset on our young generation. Then for the woman, he or she should, I said he or she should live. Because if you don't live, your daughter, when she grows up, she will in turn do the same thing that you did. Thank you so much.
All right, any final contribution? Because we are wrapping up. Okay, any last one?
This is the one that everybody, both male and female, sometimes refuse to forget to do. Speak out. Speak up. It doesn't matter who you're speaking out. Just voice out your suffering. Let someone hear it. Let it get to the ears of someone you might not know. Let them. It's better you're mocked and someone have heard it than you hide it.
There are some marriages that will tell you, we don't want third party. Anything that happen between us, make it stay between us.
See, third party is when it's still married. Yes. Third party does not come in when it's still married, when you can still handle it. Yes, so if you don't, they choke you, almost shout, scream, when they laugh you. The laugh does not, see, people forget. They go forget when you that year when you shout, it go be story, nobody go take am serious, but you're still alive. But if you die, you say, chai, no talk, nobody even know say they suffer. You see that kind of thing, and you never can tell who is listening. Maybe help is out there, but because you've not spoken, the help may never come. So speak up. If help is not coming, at least people go know say you cry out too. Because if you dey inside house they die and you don't shout help, or you're in a ditch and you don't shout help, nobody's gonna help you. Even if 1 million persons passes there, they won't see you until they hear the word help. So always cry out for help. If you don't choke, no, keep quiet.
So if I cry for help now, go listen to me.
Cry first.
Help! Oh! Help! Oh! MC Black Abino. As in small way for. No, he say he's still hold on tight. He's still hold on. No, he's a proud member of Virgins Association. I know. See their chairman here, man. Yes. All right. This is where we draw the curtain for today. This is the second episode of Reality Check. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming. Let me hear you. All right, let's be on our feet so that we just. Okay, Father Ben. Yeah, baby. Yeah, wrap up. Prophet, prophesy.
Prophet. For power is too much. Power is too much. Okay, for those people that are around, let's pray. Father, we thank you for this gathering and this deliberation. We ask that even as we live here, everything we have had, some of us will put it into practice in the name of Jesus and take correction to do the best. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Even as we go back home, we ask you will go with us respectively. There will be no casualty on the way. Lead us safe and sound. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray. The grace